Let's talk a little bit about the Orioles specifically, I guess, because I want to touch on this personally. I'm a White Sox fan, so it stumps me a little bit when you go through the term rebuild is used a lot in baseball, but I think only a few teams have really done it successfully. You got the Braves, of course, the Astros. Cheating aside, they're still playing well right now. And to me, it goes third is to the Orioles because the Orioles were pretty bad for a few seasons. They had a few number one overall picks. Obviously, you draft Rutschman. You go out, get some pieces, but you guys really haven't spent a lot. So I guess for the small market teams out there, the Miami Marlins, the Colorado Rockies, how do you think the Orioles have really pulled it off pretty well?
It all happens in the draft, honestly.
I agree.
Especially for a small market team, you're not going to go get the big name guys out of free agency. I mean, we signed Adam Frazier. Like he's not that big a name, and I mean he hasn't done much this season. But I feel like, especially in our draft, everything changed when we drafted Adley. Adley was a big piece for us, and then when we drafted Gunnar, Gunnar's a stud. Gunnar's changed it around a lot, and then I mean pitchers also. I mean, Grayson's coming up. I feel like we're going to be, especially for the draft. I feel like the more draft picks you have and the consecutive drafts, you draft a good player and you feel like you're going to do good with him, and he comes out and he plays great baseball. I feel like the more and more you add up those players, it's a lot easier to rebuild. I mean, every team's trying to draft the next guy, but we got really lucky with the guys we picked.
Yeah. And I think that's the first part. You have to have good, like, I know they've made good under the table moves. Like, I think Felix Bautista might have, I don't remember if he was either a low trade or a low free agent signing, but like that struck gold, right? Other pieces too. You guys have never really spent big, but with the draft, you're right because, you got to draft well. But my question is, okay, so like in baseball, it's interesting because there you got like 5 to 10 teams that claim they're tanking, they claim they're rebuilding, right? But some of them like aren't actually making strides to get better. So yes, I think drafting is good. But I also wouldn't you agree that the Orioles must have like some good development in their farm system because some teams they just don't go they suck, but just because they get good players then they still don't go anywhere. So would you agree there's also a little more to it than just the draft too, especially with development? But
Yeah, development's really important. I feel like the Orioles have a great development program, great farm system. I mean, Norfolk, a lot of guys at Norfolk. Justin Turner came out of Norfolk. I mean, like, we've had a lot of guys come out of there and be studs, either for us or for other teams, depending on a trade. But I mean, I feel like our development is one of the best in the league, if not the best.
I actually didn't even know about Justin Turner. So he just started in the Orioles farm system, then went to the Dodgers, or how did that work?
I think he went to the Dodgers after that, but he did start
Did
in
he ever play
Norfolk.
for Baltimore? I actually don't remember that,
I
or
don't I
just
don't
in the
think he ever
farm.
played for Baltimore. I think we got rid of him pretty soon. But
Gotcha. Yeah, but either way, what your point is even before now you've seen the improvement. Like even back in the day, they've still had the development. Some teams, especially my White Sox, we lack that. So I was very curious about that because I think again, when I think of it's not quite a Mount Rushmore because it's three, but when I think of the rebuilds, I think of the Astros, I think of the Braves, and I think of you guys. So we'll see if you can build on it next season. But anyways, thank you for your perspective and hope for a better time around next October for the O's.